very impoverished discussion about critical race theory. I was blessed to write the foreword for that text when it came out. And these days, of course, you mentioned that, you got to run for cover with all the death threats and things, because we're not living in a spiritually mature culture. But I start off with the notion that truth is bigger than any one human story. That all of us have lens through which we view the world. And we learn from the truths of various stories and lenses that people have. And with critical race theory, if you actually look at it, what it says is we're going to look at the history of America through the lens of the enslaved and the Jim Crowed and the Jane Crowed and the ghettoized. Now, that particular lens doesn't mean it has all the truth. Not at all. All of us are fallible. But anybody who tries to tell the story of the emergence and the making of America without saying a word about slavery, economic foundation, without saying a word about Jim and Jane Crow, without saying a word about black culture and black music. Can anybody tell a story about America as if black people were never, ever, ever here, or only here as objects to be manipulated and slaves to be subjugated? No. Now, there have been historians that have tried to tell a story. And they say, America begins with Mayflower and this magnificent march of freedom and this great beacon of hope for freedom for everybody, and invited people from all around the world to come. And then you get a little footnote. Now, we acknowledge that this is going to be very difficult when applied to black people. Now, we begin with the footnote. Begin with the footnote. Don't start off with the deodorized discourse. Keep it funky. Keep it funky. There's human beings down here struggling, shuddering. Now, that doesn't mean that black people have a monopoly on truth. It just means that black people got a whole lot of truth to tell, but no monopoly on truth at all. Not at all, because it in part has been for many folk. Come to America as an immigrant from Ireland and Italy, where they had vicious forms of domination, and they come and they, like the University of Arkansas, what was that about, 1862? Is that right, Brother Robinson? You wrote the book on it. What was 1862? The Merrill Act. What was the Merrill Act? It was a little later. Oh, yeah, but did it feed into the Merrill Act, feed into the University of Arkansas ever? Yes, sir. I thought so. I appreciate your correction now, absolutely. And we haven't got to the 160 free acres. Can you imagine that? 160 free acres for European peasants and black people here undergoing land dispossession, looking for 4 acres and a mule, and you can come from outside of the country and get 160 free acres as long as you want to cultivate it in an ingenious way. That's white supremacy at work. That's not trashing white people. That's telling the truth about the development of a country in which white supremacy was being enacted in relation to a predatory capitalist exposure. That's truth-telling. Now, unfortunately, a lot of our right-wing white brothers and sisters say, well, you know, you're attacking me, or you're talking about grandmama as if she was enabling the Klan. No, we're not talking about your grandmama. It was her choice, whatever her choice was that she did. But you are here now. What you gonna do in relation to the history? You a human being. Your grandmama may have been with the black folk, with Frederick Douglass, with Harriet Tubman. There's always a slice of courageous white brothers and sisters. It's just that they got a whole lot of cousins who didn't get the memo, if you know what I mean. But no, you keep track of that rich history of white brothers and sisters over against the white supremacy. You got a history of that in Arkansas, white brothers and sisters, but you got a whole lot of them who fit right in with the benefits, you see. And so what critical race theory is simply saying is we're going to broaden the discourse so that the voices about the enslaved and the Jim Crowed and the Jane Crowed and the lynched and the ghettoized and the hated will be heard as part of the larger conversation. Now, see, those kinds of more nuanced formulations you don't really have on TV. Yeah.
How can you